Assalamualaikum and good evening to my lecturer Dr. Aina Idayu binti Iskandar. My name is NURFARAH ATHIRAH ARIFF. Now, I will talk about the critique of my article titled Should Leaders Prioritize Conflict Mitigation or Conflict Resolution? First, let me start off with the summary of the article. The article discusses whether leaders should prioritize conflict mitigation or resolution. It argues that while resolution seeks solution, mitigation reduces conflict severity to minimize damage. With rising workplace conflict and its cause, mitigation is becoming more important. The article suggests that leaders should focus on developing a range of conflict management skills rather than favoring one approach over the others. Next, what is conflict mitigation? Conflict mitigation aims to reduce the severity of conflicts before they escalate, which is a proactive strategy. This is particularly crucial in high-stakes environment or in industry where unresolved conflict could lead to serious consequences, such as in healthcare or finance. In these cases, prevention, which is mitigation, can save costs, reduce stress, and maintain productivity. On the other hand, conflict resolution addresses issues head-on when they arise. This is important for resolving deep-rooted conflicts or structural problems within teams. While mitigation prevents conflict from arising, resolution deals with making decisions that may rebuild relationships and ensure long-term solutions. Next, let's move on to the critical analysis. In my opinion, I agree with the fact that leaders need to emphasize mitigation of conflicts, since I believe those leaders who emphasize mitigating conflicts at early stages can save time and resources and can still maintain stability in the long term. The articles written in the next slides have very solid evidence that point to mitigation of conflicts as the source of smoother operations and more success in many areas. The first supporting articles is Advocacy and Credibility of Land Tenure in Ethiopia, Mitigating Conflicts and Threats. The article demonstrates that tenure of land ownership lessen land right conflicts occurring at an early stage before conflicts even emerge. The initiative in the procurement of land rights can prevent the issue of conflicts in the long run that promotes effective governance and economic growth. The second supporting articles is Mitigating Conflicts in the Implementation of Intensive Land Use Policies. This study presents a game model to explain how the conflict involving stakeholders regarding land use policies can be used as a means of bringing down the implementation resistance. Leaders can prevent conflicts which will hold up or derail land use planning by reforming interests proactively. The third supporting articles is Public Willingness to Pay for Mitigating Local Conflicts over the Construction of Renewable Energy Facilities. The study shows that the public is willing to invest in conflict mitigation for renewable energy projects. Early resolution of conflicts is useful in eliciting the support of the people and avoiding the wastage of time in opposition, and this enhances project success. The third supporting articles is S Mitigating Multitask Learning Conflicts for Semantic Change Detection. The article confirms the fact that conflict mitigation processes in the multitask learning models enhance the overall performance of a system. This is similar to the fact that the earlier the organization intervenes, the more favorable the results. The fifth and the last supporting articles is a conflict clique mitigation method for large-scale satellite mission planning. This research demonstrates that avoiding tensions in tasks can be more efficient at the beginning of the process of deciding on the scheduling of satellite missions. Mission planning is more effective by resolving conflicts at the beginning, which is time and resource saving. However, I disagree that conflict resolution is something that leaders should consider first. Although conflict resolution is a mandatory aspect of dealing with conflicts, the reason why resolution should be given more priority over mitigation may bring about undue stress. It usually takes a lot of time and resources to wait before the conflict arises and then solve it after the incident has happened, as opposed to avoid conflicts initially. Conflict resolution is reactive and conflict mitigation is proactive. Concentrating on resolution too much is risky since it will allow conflicts to upset operations, result in delays and loss of public support. Next, I will continue with the recommendations. The first recommendation is prioritize early conflict identification and prevention. Early detection of possible conflicts and proactive measures to stop them before they worsen should be the main priorities of leaders. This could involve establishing precise guidelines, establishing expectations, and enhancing stakeholder communication. Second recommendation is establish transparent communication channels. In order to avoid misunderstandings that can result in conflict, open and transparent communication is crucial. To resolve concerns before they become worse problems, leaders should set up regular pathway for conversation and input. And the last recommendation is invest in conflict prevention training. Training initiatives that assist staff members and stakeholders in identifying and resolving possible conflicts at an early stage should be funded by the leaders. People who receive conflict avoidance training are more likely to communicate and recognize problems before they become major issues. In conclusion, I firmly believe that leaders should prioritize conflict mitigation over conflict resolution. The evidence from the articles demonstrate that proactive mitigation not only reduces the occurrence of conflicts, but also prevent the costs and inefficiencies that come with resolving conflict after they escalate. Conflict resolution, while important, is a reactive process that is often more time-consuming and resource-intensive. By focusing on mitigating conflicts early, leaders can ensure smoother operations, greater public support, and more sustainable long-term outcomes. Mitigation is a proactive, cost-effective approach that fosters a more harmonious environment for all stakeholders involved.